Well, it was day one yesterday for the XE Turbo minor refresh. Just touch it up, a few little paint things and all that, as per my other video. And I thought, right, before I do anything, I'm going to start her up, because I realised I've got to get this thing registered again before it runs out of rego. So I was going to take it down to get it roadworthy, and the bloody thing wouldn't start on me. So I thought, okay, right, a bit of dead fuel maybe. So flushed a bit of fuel through, nothing, still wouldn't start. So I went, oh, righto, scratching my head for a little bit. So I thought, well, first thing to do is, will it run on the old classic aero start? Yep. And jam some in there, as you do. It run fine. Started, run, no worries at all. So I went, okay, fuel problem. So because it's been sitting for nearly 3 months, I think, without it being started, I thought, oh no, my injectors might be dead. Or I got it clogged up because it had like no fuel in it. So it was right at the bottom of the tank. So I just run it on aero start for a second, grab the old long screwdriver and just check the injectors, make sure they were ticking. You know, you put that to your ear and you listen to the injectors ticking away. And they were ticking away nicely. So obviously, yeah, she's a fuel fault. So I just checked the pressure on the line up the back, that line coming in, and yeah, it was sort of flowing, but very low. And I went, bugger it. So off to the boot to figure out what's going on. So I flushed the injector lines as well, as in I flushed the fuel rail, made sure that was all clean and all that crap as well. But yeah, definitely she had very little pressure coming up, basically nothing. It flowed fuel, but very little. So all the car would do, once I've got it flushed the lines, it'd start idle for about a second and then it'd just conk out, which means obviously it's priming the injectors. Injectors run out of fuel because there's no fuel pressure and they conk out. So off to the boot. So this has got a surge tank arrangement in it, 3 litre surge tank in it, and a Bosch 044 external pump with the standard internal EFI pump, lift pump into the surge tank. So yeah, looked in here and yeah, that's what I found. She was molted bloody mess. So obviously the fuse didn't blow, and it's just melted the bloody fuse thing. So that's the first thing I found. I went, okay, maybe it's a high resistor joint. Maybe. So I just got my meter and chucked her across the terminals, and it was like 1.2 ohm, and I went, she's shorted out. Not completely shorted out, but obviously there's a fault with the windings. That'd probably be, I don't know, they wouldn't be 1.2. They'd be up around the 15 to 20 ohm mark, give or take. I don't know. I'll have to find out what it is when I get the new one. So a few repairs, and I thought I'd give it a go just to make sure the fuse will blow. Connected up, went for put the ignition on, and straight away, noisy quail. Quails are noisy. Went for, and yeah, it blew the fuse straight away. So yeah, clearly something's wrong. So anyway, of course, can't get one up here, so I had to order one. So now I'm waiting again. So I just wanted to make sure everything was sweet before I pulled anything apart or did any work. Plus I've got to get this roadworthy done before the thing runs out of rego. Otherwise I have to go to the MVR and go through all that again. So anyway, that's all good. That's why you do these things. You always check them out, make sure you do your part, make sure you got a starting point on it. So anyway, it was a nice, interesting fault finding process. I thought maybe the injectors might be blocked. I thought maybe, but yeah, luckily I didn't pull all that apart. I just checked the fuel pressure first, and that of course led me to the back. So anyway, good for someone, good information. If it runs and starts for a second, fuel pressure, chuck some aero start in it, see if she runs on aero start, check your injectors ticking away. And then, of course, yeah, make sure you got fuel pressure. Depending on fuel pressure will vary, depending on whether you got an external pump or an internal pump, it'll obviously vary. So anyway, it was a slow start, I suppose you could say, a slow start. So, well, non-start if you want to be politically correct. Anyway, so I'm going to actually do a bit of time in between now and waiting for the pump to get here before I start doing the body and all that, to do with this bloody shed cleanup. Because once again, it's turned into a bit of a mess. So I've got to do a bit of a cleanup and make myself some room so I can get some stuff done and make sure I can prep to get the engine out and give myself room to get all these bits of body cleaned up. But anyway, this will be over the next few months project. It won't be like one weekend, so I'll just do updates as I go. Anyway, I'll chuck another update once I get the pump in, and we'll get through to what's next job. Cheerio.